We are back at the Meeple on Board Vanguard for Spiel 2025, where this year they have really outdone themselves with the amount of people coming and the amount of games. We have some absolute crackers ready for you. So, welcome to So Play We All at Spiel 2025. I've known Alex and Crafty Games for a very, very long time. And last year, you told me that you were looking for board games to publish. I didn't expect this mammoth. We are going to take a look at Knights of the Round Table. Welcome to So Play We All at Spiel 2025. Alex, I was not expecting that you were going to go so huge on your search for a game. I hasten to add though, humans, this is just a prototype.
Yes.
So the final game is going to look even more amazing.
Yes, absolutely. This is only some of the parts actually. We just did a partial setup. But yeah.
Okay, some.
There's even more.
Wow,
put on
that's
this
going
table.
to,
yeah.
As the old adage from the movie goes, we're going to need a bigger table.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so Knights of the Round Table, what is this game all about? Because there seems to be a lot of things going on.
Right. So this is a game created by Johnny Pack. He's been working on it for several years. So he did Unconscious Mind and Endless Winter and Coloma, things like that. So he makes wonderful Euro games in sort of a classic style. This is a passion project of his we have brought over. And so in this game, we wanted to do something that was really touching on kind of the entire Arthurian mythos at once. And so this is Knights of the Round Table, so in which case we are playing lesser kings in the time of King Arthur, and we are beseeching the king to send us some knights and some of his champions, which will then sally forth out into England to search for the Grail, to defend the shores against the invaders that are coming down and attacking the land, and then also to actually build Camelot.
Okay.
And so this is a little 3D castle. We have a couple parts here just to show you how it works. Yeah, so the game flow is fairly simple. It's played across 2 rounds. We call it cycles, in like the Vulgate cycle or the classic cycles. In the first and the second work kind of the same way. So first thing we do is we draft turn order here. So players will take turns going into these spaces. There will be always 7 champions. There will always be Merlin or Arthur will be the first, and then there will be pairs. And they'll draft a pair, and this also sets turn order. And so you could take, I could take Palamedes and Lancelot here, and I'd add them to my keep, which I can't even fit on the table. It's a whole nother player board. So they come and they visit, and they're going to be sitting with me. And then we set turn order. And then we begin the main phase of the game. Our goal is to earn glory. Okay. There's 3 types of glory in the game. There's quest glory. It's represented by this beautiful track here, which is made to look kind of like an illustrated manuscript, telling a little bit of the story of the game. And so first we have here is quest glory. The quest glory is you're going to earn by going out here into the land and searching for the Holy Grail. It's sort of a determination game as players go through. I'll talk about this in a moment. The second is battle glory. You're going to earn that here in the battlefield by defending and defeating these little meeples that are coming down a little bit like space invaders attacking you. You're vying for position to get the most glory, and then if you kill everybody, you can loot some spoils that'll be on the side. And then the last, of course, is Camelot glory. And this is, we're going to earn this as we build the round table up. We're going to put pieces on here, and then we'll be building actually Camelot into the full fortress that would be.
Very cool, huh?
It is very cool. It's very intuitive in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of sophistication in it. So your turns are fairly simple. You have about, I think you have 4 actions you can do. So the first is, it uses an I cut, you choose mechanism. So the first you can do is to swear a sword. So you'll take a sword to the center of the table. This would be a full ring of black, white, and gray knights. And the black, white, and gray knights are all specialized. The white knights are good at the quest, the black knights are good at the battle, and the gray knights are good at Camelot. So if you swear a sword, you will take and you will put a sword onto the table. You put it down, you collect the resource you cover, and then the knight, and he will come to your keep. And you go sit on your player board. You have 4 seats, you can host the knights. The resource, you take a resource token and put it in the storage of your keep. As players collect these knights, they're going to disappear, and eventually they're going to leave little wedges of knights between swords. The second action you can do is to claim knights, in which case you take a pair of them, add them to your keep if you have space. You always have to be able to host them. And you don't get any resources, they just go there and sit on your board. The third action is to send out knights. So when you send knights out to play, you will choose a color that you have in your keep. So you say, I want to deploy gray knights this round. And you'll take a knight from your keep, they would be over here, and you'll put them out into play. So if you send them to the quest, they can get resources by covering them up. Oh, I forgot the castles. There'll be little castles here.
Okay.
And so the goal is to reach castles. So you're going to build chains a little bit like through the desert. When you put them out, you can take the knight and you can put them onto a horse like that.
Very nice.
And that makes them a leader, which is important because the chains that touch a horse of your color are controlled by you.
Okay.
And so that's how you're going to know how much glory you score at the end of the round. And so you want to build these little chains and block people from getting things. As you build, you always have to build from the center here at Camelot, or there's a little ship that sails around. But you can always place another knight next to one in a later round. Oh, I can place this white one next to him. He would land on the castle. If I send a knight to a castle, then I get to draw quest cards. And so I would reveal, in this case I draw 1. I placed a white knight on the castle, so I actually draw a second one. So this one here, it says, oh, I immediately add another invader to the battlefield. I'd roll a die and place it correctly, and I'd move this little tracker. So let's say I drew this one instead. This would move up forests. What we're doing in the first round is determining which of these 3 different tile types, forests, hills, and moors, where the grail is going to be. And that will determine, and you see it moves up this little track, and eventually one will be worth some of that white glory. And then I draw and I resolve it, and I store it. And then another one comes out, oh, there'd be more meeples come into play, and this moves the ship around. Eventually I did another one, oh, okay, and now I'll move up stone, like that. Okay, and that would be the end of that action. So eventually, as we go through the quest, one of these will work their way up and stop. And that says, okay, any spaces you cover in the green tile are going to be worth 1 quest glory at the end of the round, and that's how you move up this track. All right, so that's the quest. In the second round, we are attempting to find, we will determine which half of the board is. There's directions here, east and west, you see. And so which one of them, so we'll say this half of the board is also worth glory.
Okay.
So, and there'll be a spot that's worth 2. So we're kind of trying to triangulate where the grail is going to be for this game, and that will determine some endgame scoring. So then the battlefield. So the battlefield, this is where black knights are good. See, they have a little axe. So here we pay resources and go to a space, and we're effectively bidding on position of where our knights are going to fight and how their best chance to gain glory by killing these little meeples. And so, you have to pay more to go higher earlier in the turn order. It resolves from left to right, top to bottom, like this. And you can also send horses in there if you like, to know who this guy is fighting on green's behalf, if I do it that way, because otherwise you lose them. So you can position them like so, and that'll determine, so your horse will fight in both spaces. As you kill these guys at the end of the round, they'll come off the board and you'll gain battle glory. So it's a little bit of a speculation on how many guys are going to be there and stuff like that. Any ones that are not killed will move down to the next battle, and then this battle is fought. If you slaughter everyone, you have your squires. These are special knights you have. They can go over here and loot the spoils of the battlefield. So these are a easy way to get some quick resources. You pay there. Eventually, if they work their way down, they're going to attack Camelot. So that's what we see here. It's going to pillage Camelot. And that's the third space you can act at. So Camelot is a castle building game. So you have to build adjacent. So the game's all about adjacency. So you have to build adjacency. So you're going to build outwards and around. This is a way to, if you cover a bonus, you gain it. And then you'll also place a little, off your player board, you place a little topper like that. It says you own that. That also acts as protection. When it gets pillaged, you lose this before you take these negative penalties for the castle being pillaged. So we have to defend Camelot against the invaders because they will sack it. So yeah, those are the 3 actions. So your Grey Knights are very specialized here. They can go here and they can build twice. And you can see you can build different parts and they have different costs. And so eventually as you build adjacently, I don't have enough parts here, but you'll build up and around and score things. And then the game itself, we'll go through, after everyone's placed all the knights, we'll be at the end of the round. In which case, now we look at which territory, let's say it's forests that have been determined. Oh, I don't have any knights in any forest, so I don't get any white glory from this, any of the quest glory. Then, we do the fight. This is the original fight. This fellow, he's a black knight, so he knocks out one. Every knight knocks out one automatically. Black knights they have a big axe, so they get to attack again. And then it comes down, there's no one here, and then this guy kills the last one. That would be 3, so you'd move up to the 3rd step.
Okay.
So I'm going to use these markers real quick to show you. So it's at 3, I'm at 0. And then Camelot, I built 2 pieces. That would move me 2 pieces up this track here. This is a quick example. So at the end of the round, we're going to look at this track, and the markers on each of the 3 tracks is going to determine how many victory points we get. So we launder these in. So the one is that you see these little tabs at the top. The one at the furthest left will score the leftmost tab. So in this case, it's 0. Then the middle one scores the middle, so that's 4. And then the rightmost one scores the rightmost tab. So I would score 6 victory points this round. It'd be a terrible score of this game, but I'm not very good at it, so I can see realistically earn that myself. And then we, after that round is over, we will reset the battlefield. All the knights will go back to the table. We will draft more champions, and I'll talk about champions in a moment. The round resets. Camelot disappears because now Camelot's established, and so now the board has changed, and now we're coming from the sides because we can also build little strongholds here on the side so you can chain out into the board. And then now we know, forests are worth glory, so people want to go here, but then we also we're determining a quest to whether we earn the Holy Grail, which gives a special effect, or which direction it goes. And eventually we know that all spaces in the east are worth something as well as the forest here. This is worth 2 glory, all these are worth 1 glory, and then this is worth 1 as well. And then after that we count up scores and the player with the most victory points wins. So fairly simple, sandboxy. The next steps that we're doing in the game, in addition to getting samples manufactured, is going to add new modules.
Okay.
So every game will include 3 modules because Arthurian mythos is full of drama, right?
Yeah.
So and so sleeping with so and so and having bastard children and da da da. So there's always 3 modules in play, and this is a completely mix and match. You could draw on, or you can put them out to kind of structure your game. And if you want to do Le Mort d'Arthur, like you could we'll have suggestions. Play with this one, and this one,
okay.
And play with these particular champions, or you might just throw them out there. But there's 3 types. There's a trial which affects the quest, and so that would be the Green Knight is telling you to go out and find the Green Chapel, and so maybe one of the castles, there'll be a castle that's moving around. This is the Green Chapel instead of a regular castle, or the questing beast is running around on the board and scrambling the map. There's an adversary, which would be like the legendary creature. So that might be Mordred, that might be a dragon, that might be a giant, and so that'll be a boss monster that changes the rules of the battlefield in some way and mixes that up. And then we have Strife, and Strife is where we handle all the soap opera elements of the game, as well as the magical elements. So there's a resource here, purple resource we call Charms, and that's sort of also the narrative resource in the game. And so there will be special rules on that card saying you can use Charms for this. So Morgana's messing with things, and so it puts a little more magic in the game, and then you can use Charms in this particular way that enforces some narrative in the game and theme. So that's the very high level of the game. So it'll have a lot of replayability and a lot of modularity. There's 24 champions, and they're all researched. And then our plan, of course, is, I know we're playing it very straight. This is very straight Arthurian, but we know that some people in the gaming world enjoy the work of Monty Python.
Yes.
And so we are planning to have an expansion that might be something completely different.
Okay, that piques my interest quite a lot.
Yes.
How many players?
This is 2 to 4 players.
Okay.
Yes.
Playtime?
Playtime, probably 120 to 150 minutes.
It's okay, so
yes,
a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to hour and a half to 2 hours is ideal when people are familiar, but the first couple of games will take you a little while.
And when is it going to crowdfunding? Because I presume that this is going to go into crowdfunding at some point.
Yes, yes. Our plan is in mid to late 2026.
Okay, so
Yes.
still a little while to go. So humans, any questions that you may have, go and get this man because obviously he can answer them. And I'm sure that that would be a good idea for people to check out how
Yes.
this is coming, because this could end up being a beautiful mammoth.
Oh yes, yes. I think it's going to be lovely when it's all done.
Alex, thank you very much indeed for being with me. This is very, very promising.
Thank you.
I really like how the prototype is coming along and how the nipples are already starting to look super cute.
Thank you. Yes.
So I can wait to see what the final result is going to be. Thank you very much indeed, Saya.
Thank you very much.